welcome to another episode of Staying Connected. I am Dr. Kyla Shane Sevillano, and for today's video, we will be talking about two topics that focuses on human brain. So without further ado, let us go straight to the first topic, which is the role of brain plasticity in learning, aging, and stress reaction.
Brain plasticity or neural plasticity. It has the ability to change the response activity to intrinsic or extrinsic stimuli inside the nervous system by the means of reorganizing its structures, functions, and connections. The occurrence of change has something to do with the learning ability, aging, and stress of an individual. The plasticity plays a huge role in connection with the learning capacity of a human being because the connection between the neurons move as the brain acquires new knowledge. Moreover, Michelon 2008 stated that the changes inside the human brain never stop because of learning.
A good example of the role of brain plasticity to learning is the study conducted by Hara 2015 about rehabilitation in human brain plasticity using functional neuroimaging to the stroke patients. The study shows that by examining the brain of the stroke patients through the use of neuroimaging and by rehabilitating them, the brain, which includes the motor system, learns by repetition and by training, which proves that as long as our brain tries to remember a single knowledge and tries to acquire new data, it will not stop learning and remembering.
On the other hand, brain plasticity takes a vital part to the lifespan development of a human. Aging may or may not affect the way of learning of an individual and its neuroplasticity. As a person ages every passing year, the functional regression of the cognitive abilities such as reasoning, decision-making and processing, and memory may decline and may affect the physical and mental health of a person.
According to Kai et al. 2014, aging adults experience a drastic declination with their movement functionality in such a way that their walking speed reduces. They start to have problems with hand and eye coordination, and the learning ability is being compromised. But in order to prevent these negative signs of cognitive aging, the attribution of healthy lifestyle must be used as a precaution. Having a good mentality exercises the plasticity of the brain despite aging. It can also prevent mental deficiencies and physical health ailments. Lastly, exercising the plasticity of the brain in a positive way is detrimental in preventing stress. Learning and growth development may cause a reaction to stress. That is why it is important to feed the brain with proper care and not abusing it so it won't lead into being damaged.
Now, we will move forward with the connection of emotional behavior to the brain of a human being. Human brain is the most important part of the body that connects everything that is necessary for an individual to live. People experience things because of the magnificent contribution of the functions of the brain. It is vital that without brain, a person would die. As such, that the emotional behavior of a person is connected to the brain. It is said that the emotion of a human being is a complex phenomenon, for it modulates and guides the behavior to collect biological, social, and more importantly, the cognitive part of a person. The events that shows different and mixed feelings like happiness, sadness, pain, anger, pleasure, and many more are the importance of emotion that a human being experiences every single day. The amygdala, insula, and anterior cingulate cortex are some of the relevant brain structures that is responsible for the human emotion. According to Leduc's 1996, the studies that involve the practice of using modern brain imaging techniques have shown that the amygdala plays a role in the emotional conditioning, storing of emotional events, and encoding of emotional signals, most especially the facial expression of fear. As the study continues, it has been suggested that amygdala's role expanded into emotional detection. Prater and his colleagues in 1996 have assumed that aside from identifying fearful stimulus, the amygdala is prone to detecting pleasant and unpleasant stimulus, in addition to emotional states like fear, disgust, sadness. The insula, on the other hand, is a multimodal sensory region in the Brodmann areas 13 and 14. Its activation is detected during an emotional induction when a turn of emotional events were being recalled or imagined inside the brain. Lastly, the anterior cingulate cortex, studied by Bosch, Liu, and Posner in 2000, is vital in emotional monitoring and evaluation. As the means to regulate the emotional state of a person, it fuses the autonomic, emotional, and attentional information with respect to the preceding emotional and cognitive priorities and to select the right response.
Talks with human body, emotion serves as the principal currency in forming a human relationship, and it is the motivational force in line with what is best and worst in human behavior. That is why the amygdala that serves as an emotion detector is the one that is responsible for regulating the aggression inside an individual, since the amygdala has the connection into identifying fearful stimulus. Aside from the fact that the amygdala helps us experience fear, it also helps us learn from situations that creates fear. According to Nelson and Trainer 2007, aggression is an overt behavior that has the intention to inflict damage to other person physically. And that aggressive behavior potentially exists whenever there is a conflict of interest. The study of Nelson and Trainer 2007 also demonstrates that the 5-HT or the serotonin can affect the aggressive behavior of an individual. Having a low serotonin level are associated with having higher levels of impulsivity and aggressiveness, and manipulations that lowers the serotonin signaling increases the impulsivity and aggression of a person. Although the amygdala helps us in perceiving and responding to danger that may lead us to aggress, other parts of the brain serves in controlling and inhibiting people's aggressive tendencies. As stated by Gibson 2002, the mechanism that indeed helps people control negative emotions and aggression is through the form of neural connections between amygdala and the regions of the prefrontal cortex. And with that, I would like to thank everyone for listening and tuning in with today's episode of Staying Connected. I hope you learned a thing or two with the topic that is connected with human brain. Once again, I am Dr. Kyla Shane Samiliano. Good day, God bless, stay at home, and be safe. Goodbye!